I mean, for example, lawyers. Oh shit.
How about that?
I got a huge question.
What is your question?
How do you date without a car or let's say a motorcycle or any type of vehicle these days?
So we're jumping right into that, huh?
Yeah.
So are we bashing students? Wait, students actually, is that why they date so much? Is it because like a lot of I'm borrowing my mom's car, I'm borrowing my dad's car, you know?
Well, it's kind of a stereotype thing to have a car, right?
Yeah,
So,
it is.
can you imagine yourself dating nowadays
No.
without a car?
No. I mean, I can't. Like, how are you supposed to go? Like, hey, do you want to go Rib Shack? All right. Oh, wait, what kind of jeepney do we get? No, I'll just do Grab. It's like, why? Well, I mean, you can't flame it because due to circumstance and whatnot, some people just don't have a car, and some people don't have good-looking cars.
So
You know.
Okay. So does it make a difference when you drive a Wigo or a Fortuner going to the club?
Hell yeah, of course it does. When you pull, I mean, actually, no, it doesn't. If you park around the corner of the club with your Wigo, but if you park right up in the front parking lot with the Fortuner, everybody's gonna you just honk a few times just to see if your friends are there, even though you don't have friends in there. Just that you know, like
a douchebag.
yeah.
Wow.
No, it's like, oh, I accidentally pressed it. Sorry. And then you walk away from your car. I've seen people do that. They hop out in the club. They pull up with their Fortuner, literally Fortuner.
Wow.
Or Nissan Terra. I didn't know it was the Nissan Terra I saw. The guy parked his Nissan Terra, and then he was like, he got out of his car, and he has a quick lock like me, right, on the Nissan Terra.
Smart key.
Yeah, smart key. So then he walks away from his car. And he like makes sure it looks back if somebody's looking, then he locks it. So it's like connection from afar. Yeah, so it's like he's outside his car, but he's got his keychain right on his belt, and then he just like locks it from afar, making sure like everybody saw that he locked his car.
So entirely
That's
speaking,
fucked up.
So entirely speaking, it is actually would you agree that it is actually difficult that you start dating without a car?
Yeah. I mean, it's a comfortable. It's like if you want to be intimate, it's not really more of a status thing. You can't be too intimate on a public place when it comes to. I mean, I guess a Grab because you have Manong driver there, and then on the jeepney, it's like you have the ads running. Yeah, Manong driver. Yeah, you also have Manong driver, and then everybody on the jeep.
Today, and then we used to ride at the front seat together with my day, right?
Holding hands.
Back in high school.
Yeah.
I enjoy. I was killing as F, bro.
Yeah.
Like holding, but the thought of it, being in the front seat and being killing about it.
It's like you got VIP access on the transportation. Yeah, I got you. And then tip the jeepney driver, like extra 2 pesos. I got you. No worries. I got allowance. My daddy owns a company or something like that.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. If I picture out myself dating back in the days, bro, it's like I go there. So I go to their school. It's like a 30-minute jeepney ride away from my school to their school before, because we have different schools. I didn't want to date anyone from my school.
Yeah.
So and she also used to wait for me outside the gate of their school.
No.
So I used to bring her flowers every time I go down the jeepney.
Oh my God! And everybody's looking at you like, oh, what a sweet boy. He's bringing, flowers for his date.
Okay, so what was it like before? Like you didn't have a driver's license back then.
No.
Right?
No.
So how did you go out on dates?
Actually, it wasn't that hard because when I went on a date, we just date around like my university, and we would go, eat places. We just take a tricycle to go like places. But like sometimes, like me as like when I'm with my friends, because her friends, my friends, and then my friends were her friends. It's like we
Don't you think that's romantic?
Nah, it is romantic. It's actually, pretty healthy. I can't say it's healthy anymore, but it depends on the friends now. But when we used to go out, we just take the tricycle or whatever, and then most of the time, like my friends were like, "Oh, let's just walk there," and it's like traveling to a different country for me, and it's hot. I'm not used to the weather here. You know, I'm in a different country, going to a different university with a different climate. It's
Yeah, I see
so,
that.
it's
You know
so,
why I'm Filipino.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to try. I want to take a tricycle. Like I don't want to sit there and I mean think about walking and then going back because your vacant's not that long. It's like
So that's a good story, bro. But
yeah,
I looked it up on the internet and I tried to see what was the top 10 famous questions when you
yeah,
start dating. Right?
yeah.
So it's like the first question is, what are you passionate about?
What am I passionate about?
Yeah,
Like in what
if
terms?
you're
Work terms?
yeah,
What?
if I was your date,
Yeah.
and I asked you that, so
I'm
what
just
would
gonna
be
say I'm a
your
mysterious guy. You'll never know.
what the heck?
No, no, I don't. No, I would
So,
say. I
don't
mean,
you think mysterious guys or mysterious women are red flags?
I actually, I mean, yes and no because it's the way you dish it out. It's
portray
yeah, it's the way you portray it. If you portray it in a non-humble way, then yeah, it's a red flag. But if you portray it in a green flag, like you respect your confidentiality and you want to just, like gauge that person and because you want to know if they like you and your personality. And anything else follows because life is ever changing. The only consistent thing in life ever is change. So change is ongoing. And if they think that you're this type of person, like a businessman, and then you change your profession to, like a chef or whatever, it's like, then they might love you different. But if they love you just based on your personality, and that's a big thing, like dating in university life. A lot of these people are more profession based. Yeah, they're aiming for the professions because they're biased to their course. But after they graduate, they realize, oh man, my piece of paper don't get me far. Like,
So, okay, let's go back to that. What's the best? What's the most green flag course ever made?
whoa, nursing. Wait, I didn't even think about it. Nursing, hands down.
Okay, so what's the worst?
The worst psychology.
No, you got.
Wait,
You
wait,
gotta
wait,
defend
wait.
that. You gotta defend
Oh, I'm
that.
gonna defend that,
Okay,
but I don't
okay.
want to get canceled. Okay, psychology. Okay, I have a lot of psychology friends, so I feel like
Are
I
they all
have,
those friends?
yeah, like a lot of guy friends, friends that are girls. There's a specific person that we know that's a that we would say, yeah, she went to psychology not just to really help other, I mean, yes, to help other people, but to first find out themselves. And that's why it leads me to my second thing. What is the second worst? In like dating, whatever. I mean, these are good courses. We need psychology people and we also need lawyers. Lawyers, if you have a lawyer like boyfriend or girlfriend, good luck winning a conversation. Actually, you won't even need to win any conversation. You just automatically lose.
So it doesn't mean that they're good at law. They're good in life in general, bro. Like, they gotta learn how to be emotionally intelligent at some point, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, and I feel like they're going off of that course because it fits their personality the most. Because they want to do something that they're not going to get burnt out on. If you think all the time about lawyers and stuff like that, you're always going to think it's the principle of how you learn things, right? I mean, you can learn how to, drive, and that's why there's book smart, and that's why there's real life smart, right?
That's
You're street smart,
Yes,
yeah. So there's a lot of things like that. It comes to the traits of a person of what course you pick. That's the biggest factor. I mean, you and I, we grew up in business like minded family.
Our families both have business. That's something we have in common.
Yeah.
And one thing's for sure, our parents raised us very well.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, because we know how to limit the things that we shouldn't do.
Thanks, mom and dad.
We motivate each other to be better as partners, right? As friends, as business partners, and we do random stuff, and we limit each other in terms where when you're doing too much of something bad, I tell you, maybe not right away, but when everything's cooled down, because I don't want to tell you something when I'm still mad, because I want to compose myself to you in terms where I'm completely sane. Yeah.
So do you bring that into like your employees? Like, do you do the same thing, or is it a different kind of mentality where you just have to tell them on the spot?
Well, technically speaking, it's professionalism digs deep into you because it's an emotional thing. It's like your mom doing trading, right? You can't be too greedy in something, and then because you think that the price will spike up, you don't sell it yet.
Yeah.
So it's an emotional thing to control which part that you get mad and you don't get mad. The thing is that you gotta be decent in showing yourself to other people, that they still get their respect in you, and they're also comfortable with with what they want to portray, and it shouldn't be that comfortable as well. So there's a limit in the maximum, the minimum amount of comfort you give to the people. And I'm not actually I'm not entirely a businessman yet because mom and dad are the business people and my uncles. But if I think about it, since I grew up in that nature, yeah, we'll get there.
I see how you don't proclaim yourself as a business person, because I think you're just helping. I mean, yes, you own, a little bit here and there, but you're helping. You don't completely own it. People don't rely on you for payroll, right? Like, you don't have to worry about getting that money and having that responsibility to keep up with payroll to keep the business.
So businessman, it's a big word, right?
Yeah.
Businessman. The lowest grade, probably, when you call yourself before you become a businessman, is an entrepreneur.
Sure.
As
Okay.
we talked about.
Yeah. Explain entrepreneur.
It's like a bougie way of saying that you're unemployed.
You're unemployed. That's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, some people walk up to me, and because we talk to a lot of people, we know a lot of people. A lot of people say, "I'm an entrepreneur as well." Oh, okay.
So,
I see.
Okay. So relating to the questions, right? Because the second question actually relates to what we're talking about. The second question about dating is that, what do you do for work? If I was your date, what would you say?
What would I say? I'd say, I would be straight up, because I don't like
you don't
like lying. I don't want to fake myself.
Oh, I'm a pilot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
See, listen. If you go to Cebu or something like that, then maybe you could say that to other people. But as long as you have enough information to back it up, because what happens if they were actually a pilot and you never knew?
No,
it's like, oh, what?
Attendant.
Yeah, fly to an FA, and they're like, oh yeah, what airplane do you fly? And you're like, oh, Boeing,
the
Philippine Airlines. You just say Cebu Pacific or Philippine Airline. Yeah, that's what I fly. I mean, straight up, I would say businessman. Like, I do business. I love to invest in things. I love to talk to people, network, business, stuff like that. And it's a big gauge. If you do say that,
so you
they'll
talked
know.
about network. How do you think you can spread your network?
How I can spread my network? Well, obviously, the main foundation into spreading or making sure your network increases in a positive progression way is it comes down to the core, yourself. If you take care of yourself, you'll make sure that other people that you surround yourself with, they attract to you.
So it's like playing golf.
Sure.
It's like
Elaborate more.
Going out there because you want a network. Other than doing your hobby as doing golf, working out, or maybe playing tennis, can be a network.
Well, sometimes it's not all about a sport. Sometimes you guys just meet in a classy, resto bar or something like that. Because there's a lot of like nice places here that we live, and there's nice food, there's wine, and there's a lot of people that we hang out with and conversate with. But at the same time, I'm talking about, like, you need to focus on yourself and make sure all your ducks are in a row, because you have to make sure that you look good, you're presentable, because in any kind of situation that you evolve yourself around with, they will attract to you. It's the same thing when you're trying to attract to other people or be involved with other people. You kind of approach them first, right? And then you take that risk, because some people, they'll do the same with you. But you have to make sure you display yourself and be presentable to a point where they look at you first glance and they know, oh, he's present. I kind of want to talk to him.
He's a guy with value.
Yeah, a guy with value.
Yeah, it's the same way as we judge other people. people. Maybe not judge. The right term to say it is curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you be curious with people.
Yeah.
Because you want to know their history, not just by up front. Because judging people might be the shallow term for it.
You want to see potential.
Yes, potential.
Mm.
So, okay, sticking back to our topic, it's about dating.
Dating. Yeah, I know. It's alright.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice. So
I like it.
The third one is that what are your hobbies or interests outside of work?
I mean,
as a student, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, as someone who likes socializing, what are your hobbies?
I mean, for me,
yeah,
it's ever changing, but I feel like everything happens for a reason because I get to store that kind of knowledge. Like if I move on to one sport to another, then I get to keep that knowledge. And I have a mentality every time I go into a sport or hobby, I look at why is it a thing? How did that help me? And a lot of it's beneficial, but right now it's more on like self-improvement, really. And I feel like it always should be like that. It's like how doctors are always in practice. Lawyers,
know how to improve.
Yeah,
you
always
gotta keep growing.
Yeah,
because you can't just be stagnant about it because it feels like you're stuck when you stop growing. And you gotta keep learning. You gotta keep knowing other people. You gotta be open minded, and you gotta open your doors to people.
Quick sesh back at it because my mic turned off. Okay.
So yeah, it's such a gift to have this time right now that we can focus on our passion. And then my parents always told me that you gotta find yourself. You gotta know what you're passionate about. You gotta find a niche. So that since my parents are businessmen, they've always wanted me to find something that I would know how to love, or I would learn how to love. And it should be interesting in my terms, not in other people's terms. And it's a deep thought because I've been learning about my parents a lot, and it doesn't. They also try to communicate with me in my terms, not just in theirs. And it's also a gift that they're open minded about knowing their own son, right?
Yeah.
Other than if I compare it to other people, some parents aren't that open minded. I know some friends that their parents are like inside the box.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, but do you see their children the same way? Like, I mean, obviously they say your kids are literally the mirror of what your parents are, you know? So you have to like make sure when you go out in public, you make sure you're upholding yourself at a great value because you're also tainting your parents' name. And people who just don't care about how you represent yourself or present yourself to other people know like their parents, like, here there's a disconnect or something. I mean, it's very brief. I don't really think that deep about it, but it's back in my mind. It calculates that way, you know? And we've been through a lot of people, and I don't feel like it's hard because, I mean, same thing people do with us if they just assume that way. But I mean, we just kind of like not involve ourselves around people that don't have the same mindset as us, because there's two different things when you're thinking about people. Some people are the bill and some people are the investment, right? Like, how do you think about that? What do you relate to that? Because I feel like
there are times or situations or places that we didn't really gain anything, and as my dad called it, a tuition fee.
Tuition fee.
Yeah,
that's true.
You didn't gain anything. You just lose money. But the thing you gain is that entirely is knowledge. You learn something so valuable that you don't want to make that same mistake again. Yeah, as most of the successful people out there, that the key to success is to fail.
True. Failure is the best teacher.
Yeah. Think about
100%.
It. How many times did you fail before you set up a podcast like this?
Crazy amount of times up until this point. And we will continue. But the thing is that we'll never give up. Yeah. That's the difference between the 1% and the 99%. you don't give up. No matter what kind of quality it is, it is the extra mile. When everybody's sleeping, you're there grinding. Few hours a day. If you wake up just a little earlier when everybody's sleeping in, that's a little bit more progress you have before them. Everything is a race. Have you ever heard of the tortoise and the hare?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the tortoise and the hare is the rabbit, the tortoise is the turtle. The rabbit is racing the turtle, and when the rabbit takes off significantly faster than the turtle, right? But then he sees that there's such a big gap where he can take a nap, he can have a snack, rest, because he knows this turtle is never going to beat him, right? Until the time where the turtle catches up, he runs again, big gap, he rests, right? But then that turtle, in the end, he wins because of consistency, the grit, because the rabbit got too complacent, got too comfortable, and it overslept or overextended its visit, with other animals on the side of the race. And it doesn't matter. Yeah, you may be ahead, but the slow and consistent, the slow and steady will always win the race.
The thought of the turtle is that he can't even beat the rabbit. Because the whole thought of it is that you're already a failure. But he just has that strong of a mindset that he can't keep going. And it always matters when you're consistent.
Yeah.
And even though that everyone thought that you failed already, you're not, because you still have that breath of yours.
Yeah.
And you still got life, you still got hope. You gotta have passion when you do things.
Off topic, kind of not off topic. Have you ever seen an actual turtle run? They're fast. I always thought they were slow. Like, they are actually fast.
We gotta have a pet, bro.
Pet turtle?
Yeah.
100%. But, oh my God. And you know what I would call it? Rafaela. Or Raphael. Yeah. And then we get another one. My favorite Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo.
Oh, Michelangelo.
Yeah. He's the orange bandana. Yours the red. Because it's matching your name. What other ones are there? Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael. Man, I used to know my stuff.
Okay. So let's go back to family and dating.
Sure.
So the fourth question is, what's your family like?
What's my family like?
How do you say that to people that you're dating? Or to the person that you're dating?
Actually, when it comes to that kind of aspect, it's so in depth where I just make it such a short answer. Like I say, yeah, I'm just thankful for them to raise me well.
Why do you think that you shorten it? Why not make it much more interesting with flowery words and brag about it, and then don't you think that when you brag about it, they envy your parents for being for raising such a good child?
Yeah. I think that's why I don't knock it out on the first date, second date. It's kind of like if we're starting to get past the court stage in a relationship, then I explain further. But at the same time, there's a point where, I mean, you can tell what the type of person you're dealing with. But at the same time, if you get older and you're still affiliated with your parents and stuff like that, you still live with them, you're still greatly in contact with them, you still, even though they have bad habits, you don't inherit it all that much because you're old enough to understand that's bad or that's good. Maybe I'll inherit that, or it's good, but it's not meant for me. I'll do something other or something else that's good. And that brings me back, why I don't is because when I'm dating, I always, this is a conversation I don't bring up in dating. But in my mind, I'm thinking why I don't explain it is because of this. Is because when you're a kid, obviously your retention span.
Women who are dating Max, listen to this.
Whoa, you're next, buddy. You're next, okay? You just wait. But the thing is that when you're a baby, your retention span, when you're adapting to things, the way you evolve, you're inheriting 90% of your surroundings. That's why parenthood is so important to one individual's, how they grow, how they evolve. And once you get older into your teenage years, that percentage of what you evolve and what you retain your surroundings gets less, right? So you start to develop a mind of your own, right? So when you're a teenager, yeah, it goes like maybe 60%, but you still try to like imitate your peers, whatever. Because you're not so much evolved around your family since you're going to school now, and your school friends are like maybe giving you yawa, or they're bad influencing you or something like that. So, and then once you get older, a little bit older in your adult ages, when you're finally paying your bills, you're finally whatever, you have a mind of your own, but at the same time you're still open, right? Maybe it's around 20%, 30%, like how you retain the outside world and you apply it to yourself. So it's always ever changing, and that's why I give the person the benefit of the doubt.
Take my word with a grain of salt.
Literally take my word with a grain of salt. But that's also a reason why is that they call it puppy love. Because once you're young, you're still
you still don't know yourself.
Yeah, you haven't met a lot of people, and you're still retaining your thing. So there's
to become a role model.
Yeah. So there's always that lesson that you learn, especially when you're dating in like the university life, is that you're young. That's why it's the greatest time to go into school, because you're young. You're trying to, learn your surroundings and apply it to yourself, and especially with your relationship. So for me, when in the high school eras, I know it was all puppy love, because no matter what, there's times whether life will give you. I was about to say our saying, but actually it's different. Life is going to give you good things and bad things, whether you like it or not. So when you're going through life and you're understanding that, oh, this is bad and this is good, when you grow older, you realize and you look back at it, it's like, oh, maybe it's bad, I'm going to stop it, right? Because you have a mind of your own.
It's life doesn't give you
what you want. It gives you what you need. Yes. And everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So you just have to be open-minded about it.
Wrong people at the wrong time.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a wrong person in your life.
Yeah.
Everyone just fits in the right way.
Lesson or a blessing. Yeah, that hurts a little bit,
huh? That's like a hard bill to swallow.
Yeah.
But okay. That's too deep.
That is too deep.
Okay, so
wait, I have a question for you. How about that? I got a question for you. How about this? What is your spiciest college story with your friend? Let's say, okay, we'll add friend in there, or your lover at the time. What kind
Can
of?
you elaborate spicy?
Okay, spicy.
Should it be like sexual? Is this?
Nah.
Is this like
okay, let's do. Nah. Let's do embarrassing. What is the most embarrassing, or like got your heart racing kind of thing? Do you have anything in mind?
I think that question's not for me, bro. Because I only dated one girl from school, and yeah, well, I did venture a lot in my college years, and it was fun. It was hella fun. And my first year and my second year was we were the first batch. Actually, the both of us are the first batch that encountered online class, because entirely online class, because it was the COVID pandemic.
True.
So if I dig deeper into it, there's nothing to dig, because I didn't date anyone from school except this
one girl.
This one girl. Okay.
By the way, I remember, just keep clear, we made a bet. If you mention, it's 100. If you mention your ex, it's 100 pesos. But I think we threw that away because we owe each other a lot of money now. But if you say the name, it's 200. Instant Gcash. Get your scanner out. I'm scanning it. Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
But and I feel like a lot of people should do that with their friends. Because
someone told me that. So how can your friend entirely move on if you don't let him say his art out?
True.
So I get it at times, yeah. Maybe sometimes it's worth paying for you, and at times where I tell you, bro, I traveled to this and that, and then it's okay, forget about her. Something like that story, right? So how do I think I'm too comfortable enough that I don't talk about it, but I'm also comfortable enough to just pay you whenever I really want to tell my story.
Yeah. And let me tell you this. This has gave me a different perspective. And I know it's like everybody should know this. Life is like driving a car, okay? Like, and I told you this before. Life is like driving a car.
And dating is like what, a full course meal.
Yeah. What's your appetizers? What's your main course meal? Yeah.
So who would be the after the main?
Whoa! Don't ask me that right now.
There should be a dessert.
Oh, there should be a dessert. Whoa! Guys, listen. Okay, no. This is the type of analogy that I'm trying to get to you with the car thing. Is because when you're driving a car, you're supposed to look in the big windshield, but a lot of people are talking about their past, which references to the rear view mirror. You're driving your car always looking at the rear view mirror. Of course you're going to crash. You're not focused on what's in front of you. That's why the windshield is significantly bigger than your rear view mirror. Yeah. You should always be focused on what's in front of you. So you drive straight and you drive far, far away from it. You can't drive far away from your problems if you're not looking in the front of what's in front of you. You're going to be crashing, making your life difficult, doing, irreversible damage that you can't pay for because like you mess up your radiator, everything. Damages that you have to details. So just focus on the road, go slow, consistency, and you'll get by it. Time heals. Time does heal. And that's a hard lesson that we're both learning. It is.
I can sense that you're still slightly broken.
I'm sorry. Me? We. What? Okay. Listen, our routine. Okay, we go to the gym and then we have our cardio at, at the world of whatever, and we do our 5 km and walk or run, and we talk a lot about that. So I know if I can. You can smell the bullshit. What other things do you have? I want to talk about universities.
You want to talk about universities?
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of people that can relate to this. I want to give my fair share. Actually, I honestly just want to stay here so I can. What did Casey say? Put me on a podcast. I got something to say. Literally. Hey guys, quick break actually. If you guys want to find us on any other social media, you can search us on the web. It's called HBTprolific. And we're here. It's free. It doesn't hurt to subscribe. So make sure you subscribe for new content. So, see you there.
So the last question is about dating. What are your goals for the future?
What are my goals in the future? Obviously, listen, we're not chasing to be rich. We're chasing to be wealthy. Money's easy to get. You can work a job, invest into a business, let it fail, rebuild again. It's okay. For me, I'm looking at that picture on my future house and who is in that picture with my family. And it's not, wealth is a mindset.
I'm imagining who you're with.
I'm sorry, there's like a few people that are artistas. Okay, never mind. Yes, there's actually someone in my life that I would like. But right now, it's a little bit busy, and I feel like I would be super selfish.
Okay, go on with your topic.
Okay, my topic. I'm chasing wealth, honestly. I'm chasing wealth. We're chasing wealth. Because okay, you're rich. That's fun for a while. You can buy a lot of the things. You can travel all the time. But the thing is, like, I want the right mentality. I want a fulfilling life. I want to be financially free. I mean, being rich is financially free. But I want a stable, like, yeah, I did it. I proved to myself that I did it. That's a big thing. That's a big leap that, like, the majority of people don't do. Or they do, but then they fail and not restart. That's why they say failure is the best teacher. They stop. When it comes to,
it's like a controversial lesson. Don't
yeah,
you think?
yeah,
Failure. You
yeah,
got when you want to win, you gotta fail.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. In a race, of course, when you're practicing, you trip so many times.
Yeah.
Your leg cramps. You got to stop. In university terms, it's like a lot of people are kind of judgmental.
Why do you think so?
Because I don't know, is that kind of a toxic trait that people judge you right off the bat? Like when it comes to what you like to do, what are you chasing for? I mean, aren't we young? Can we not like? I mean, I guess they're asking that question to see if you're what kind of maturity level you are, because they know you're gonna change anyways, right?
But the point is that majority of the people around that are living right now is shallow. When I say shallow, they're judgmental. As I said, they're not curious.
Yeah.
They just judge you at the front as a shallow version of knowing such person. Because if I was curious about you, I would know you to the depth why you act that way today, and I would ask you some bunch of questions just to make you feel better and to know why you act that way. And it just doesn't apply to being a negative person or acting in a bad way. It also applies to the person that you look up to. Why is he such a good role model in his friend group? Because sometimes those types of people have very good past, or they may not have a very good past that they made it an inspiration to keep moving forward. It's like the people who don't have aircon inside their houses.
What an analogy. Okay.
It's like the people who doesn't have aircon. When you don't have aircon inside your room, when it's starting to get hot outside, you start to wake up.
That's true.
You want to feel, you want the aircon that you could buy in the future. So you start working when the sun is up.
I have an analogy for you. Some people, like, you think of people as a glass of water, right? Some people may come around and there's two different types of people. They may be the fan, where no matter how hard they try to cool your water to make it cold, it won't get cold. But they're trying so hard. But some people just come by and they're just the ice cube. It's easy. Just sit in it. Easy, no problem. They vibe. It's what they want. So I feel like you have to focus on self-improvement. And that's what a lot of students don't know what to do. It's not just learning in your classes. Listen, like an IT course, right? Technology is always evolving. So, 2 years later, that course that they used to teach 2 years later is kind of like irrelevant to whatever they want to teach you now into today's technology standard. Same thing with other courses.
Yeah, it's like before. Computer subjects was just Microsoft Word, and then Excel files, and then spreadsheets and stuff like that. But now it's computer subjects. Even in the senior year, high school. Yeah. You get to do coding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that, like HTML, basic, web things.
But imagine what they do now. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I know, it's so hard. Like, I've literally talked to somebody that they were saying yeah, I said it. They were saying oh yeah, I'm in computer course. I was like, okay, what kind of things are you doing? Like, oh, cybersecurity. I'm like, okay, what kind of coding is that? And he's saying like all these codes that I don't even know. And I used to do code. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know if he's bullshitting me or not. Like, I don't understand. And I can't imagine like me being in that course and trying to learn. That's very intensive. Before, when you used to be in the technology course, like simple coding, maybe a little bit of Java. It's different. Same thing with like nursing, right? There's a lot like that field is always evolving. Yeah. And there's always that kind of, before they're always teaching, bedside manners, all the the basic fundamentals of issuing IVs or medicines. I know a lot of things. Don't laugh over there. Okay. Shouting me out. Do you hear that? What the fuck? Really? Oh my god. I'm gonna think of something who's gonna
Bro, you gotta drink that.
You gotta drink. Okay. Anyways, how I know so much about nursing? I wonder why. Like I said, my rank 1 is nursing. What about you? What is your rank 1? Oh shit. God. Don't say tourism. I'm an FA pilot.
Like, tourism has, not to bash, okay, based on experience, we have the slight ick. Like, they're too futuristic of where they're gonna live in the future because they're future travelers, okay? But if you think about other courses, let's say like as you said, nursing. Well, since we're also talking about dating and then relating to nursing.
Don't get off topic. What is your rank 1 course that you think is nice?
Is nice as a date.
As a date, like who would you preferably go to? What course would you preferably date?
I don't even need to think about it.
Oh, see, same thing,
bro. It's just that they get,
check my pulse, nurse.
Yeah, it's like you get to have a caring partner. Other than yes, they're caring, and of course they're kind of enthusiastic because they deal about it every day. They deal with sickness, and then caring is like a normal habit to them. So who doesn't want a free nurse, right?
Wait, I'm gonna break both our hearts right now. I read something.
Okay, what?
It's not good. It's kind of messed up. Fact check me or not, okay? But they said that nursing is the number 1 course or profession that cheats.
So where's your proof?
It's online. I saw it. Like somebody was saying. I think it was like maybe Joe Rogan.
Oh my god!
I think Joe Rogan said that, or his guest said that. And I was like, I instantly paused the video and I clicked on something else. I felt so bitter at the time because I was like, bruh, really?
I don't even want to.
And they were explaining. No, they're explaining why. They explain like because they have a lot of time, like at the nursing thing, and they're evolved around a lot of people. And most nurses, like that's why I still have it as rank 1. They're just top tier, S tier, like literally top pinnacle tier. And I believe in that because like a lot of them have a good mentality when they talk to you, the way that they live their life, a lot of them are good. It's in their nature
to care about.
Yeah. And I guess it depends where you are because I feel like that was kind of a Western mentality.
When you're here in the Philippines, it's like Filipinos are normally conservative by nature. Yeah, and I think that's why it's one of the courses that we look up to having a partner with. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw you a curveball.
Okay, what's that?
What's your second? Right off the bat, like what is your second?
I don't really know because let's go back to all the courses that probably I've met. Number 1, nursing. Okay. Medical field. Medtech. People.
No, that's same course. Okay, like if you just had to choose one.
I can't even choose tourism. I can't even choose law. Law is a master's degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So law. You could love someone who's gonna be a future teacher, right? Like
so education. Edu.
But if you think about it, here in the Philippines, they lowball teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like they don't get a high paying job as well as nursing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Educational edu students usually dream about going abroad so that
They could teach.
It's worth their time. It's worth their
Same with nursing. Actually, same with any course. I guess except for business. Because actually they know, if you're actually a business person, you know how hard it is to create a business in the States. So hard. So much money. And here, it's like if you know somebody that knows somebody that also knows somebody, you can have connections. Serious connections. That's like the best thing that you can have in order to make a business. It's so easy. You don't even really have to do anything. If you have the money to fund it, you got it. But in the States, if you have the money, they don't care. Because like everything is like, it's so hard. Even your employees, it's so expensive to maintain when it comes to tax. How? That's why they're hiring, like they're just like letting go of a lot of their physical employees and replacing it with AI cashiers. Have you ever heard of that?
They pass their first world countries usually use VAs, virtual assistants, so that they could pay less. But it's overseas.
Yeah.
So they just have to set up a system so that salaries and wages would be a lot lower than how it is.
How would you choose? How would you say to somebody, like, if they were in senior high or high school, what would you tell someone to be like, oh, I'm gonna help you out choosing your course? Do you ask them first, like, oh, what do you like, or stuff like that? Because they're so young that it's ever changing. So what mentality would you instill with them that they would use that as their foundation to pick something solid? You know, like, how did you choose? Is based on your family background?
It's more of a if I ask that to myself, or if I were to give an advice to myself, to my younger self, I would say keep on looking up into your parents, because my parents are like one of my role models. So it's not just that it's a default answer for that question.
But let's consider circumstance. What happens if you don't like what your parents do? Like, what is the core foundation that you give to somebody to say, hey, this is the type of course that I want. This is the type of course I want because I chose it like this.
Okay. So everyone has passion, right? It's like, is your passion helping each other to heal their sickness, like how nursing,
like psychology,
nursing or psych, maybe mental or physical pain? And some people have the passion to teach, which are teachers, educational students. But my answer to my younger self is that I want to help other people in terms of monetary and material value, and I would give it to them as much as I can. So my main goal is probably to make more money.
Yeah.
So that I could give money and material value to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that some people look at you as, oh, it's just he's doing that just because of money. But no, I'm passionate about helping other people in my own company in the future, if I were to have a company.
For me, I feel like it's not enough grit. I feel like it's not enough grit to just have, like, if I, for example, I love helping people. That is, like, I don't want anything back. I don't expect anything back. But I really want to know, like, okay, how can I fulfill my whole passion, my grit, my drive? Like, for example, if I was in nursing, yes, I'm helping a lot of people, but there's like other sections in kind of what is it called, in the industry where I want to help every kind of industry, and it's kind of impossible, you know, unless like you're a doctor and and like at the same time you're not too physical with it. You're just kind of prescribing your analysis, or you're giving your analysis to people, and then you're helping them that way. But for me, I want more. I think bigger. Like, how high would you aim if you knew you couldn't fail or miss, right? And you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So for me, if I'm in business just like you, I have this money that I can cover every kind of aspect when it comes to nursing. Yeah, every field. I can provide every kind of equipment that makes your job more efficient to help other people, not just in one field. That's why I want it. Every kind of, for example, charity. Charity helps, like, for example, for dogs or for orphans or whatever. I can't, if I'm just focused on a 9 to 5 job stuck in the matrix, I can only focus on one thing. I can't even focus on supporting myself. So when I'm establishing that kind of foundation, I can cover all the fields that I wish that I want, because, for example, you're focusing on other things when it comes to a specific industry. You can't branch yourself away. You're stuck because everything is helping you kind of stay stuck in that kind of situation where you can't get out of it. You can't reinvest in yourself. You can't invest in others. You can't afford to take risk. So also due to circumstance.
So generally speaking, how do you think, or how do you imagine yourself investing in other people? How to make that as a stepping stone in terms of helping each other, helping people in all sorts of fields in the future?
A lot of people say talk is cheap, but the number one thing is talk, because talk makes networking. Being presentable, that's why I said the core foundation, if you want to do anything good in your life, for example, if you work at a job, yes, you will make a living. But if you work on yourself, you'll make a fortune. So the thing is that's the main foundation for you to set yourself up to meet other people that are like-minded like you. So if you're trying to cover a foundation or trying to make more networking, talk is big. Especially, it's a tool, and if you don't know how to use it, then it's cheap. But if you know how to use it, it's everything. Because how you figure out somebody's eligible or valuable enough to consider partnering with them is seeing if they're good in themselves, right? Your baggage is your baggage. My baggage is my baggage. It's not your obligation for you to pick up my baggage, right? So if I can carry my own bags plus more, that's called potential. So if you have the potential to carry a lot more bags and we can carry more bags together to the same goal, that's the type of people you want to partner with. And the only way you can achieve that.
So how do you think? Okay, stop right there.
Okay, go.
But how do you think you'll find people like-minded as you are?
Like I said, talk. I mean, how else are you supposed to find you when you talk? And a lot of people hide things. But if you're knowledgeable enough, that's why, if you're sharp, if you focus on yourself, you're smart enough to sense the bullshit, you would know. If you're talking with somebody, they know what they're talking about. Like, you walk away from that conversation knowing, like, oh, wow, he's kind of smart. Like, I kind of learned something from him, actually.
Got to sense other people when they don't have that much of a potential because they're close-minded, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if somebody doesn't know a lot, as long as they're competent. Because if you try to talk to them and try to teach something, because it's always in practice. Business is always practice, because you have to learn about every industry to learn. Keep innovating. Yeah, to find your niche, right? And if you can't find your niche, you look at inspirations. Like, for example, when it comes to business, I always say ask, answer. You never leave a question unanswered, because you will never progress. It's a step, right? So in the end, the biggest thing is that you have to learn to ask and answer. And if you don't have enough to ask, then you haven't done enough research. And that's why for the next episode, we're going to do more research so we have more to ask. Something like that.